Good morning, everyone. So, I guess since I did that live for the B3 event, I decided to go ahead and do some more lives, even though I was nervous about not being able to restart if I mess up. So, I have received a few times from teachers at schools that I've spoke at for student assemblies, these I guess comments or questions that students have. So whenever they go back to class, some of the teachers will say, okay, what did you get from Carey's presentation? What questions would you have for her now that you've had a chance to kind of like decompress and kind of think about what she had said? And I had been meaning to put these in a blog, and I just kind of hadn't gotten around to it, and sometimes I just need a little bit of a break. Like, all of these questions were from last October, and October is Red Ribbon Month. It's seatbelt awareness, and it's a very heavy month for me, traveling from school to school to school, one after the other. So sometimes I just need a little bit of a break for myself to decompress. But I went ahead and I'm going to take one of these, an easy one today, until I get used to doing some lives. And remember, these are from high school students, so like language sometimes is a little off. And I don't have names. I have no idea if it's male or female. But this student said, what made an impression on me was the videos that she showed us. I really enjoyed watching what actually went down on that tragic day. I am more of a visual learner when I can piece things together like that. The thing that sticks out about her most is her appearance. I didn't realize that she was disabled at all. Mrs. Portell just looks very leaned up and normal looking, not that she has any problems at all. I felt a bit sad while she was presenting, but I kept my cool with it. It's very touching to have someone who has discovered trauma in her past and is able to share her experience in front of a whole high school audience. So two things stood out to me with this comment was many people say that same thing about my appearance, but you don't look like you have any problems. And I don't. If I walk very slowly, or if I am sitting for the majority of time, unless you can see my braces, or for some reason if I have to walk with a cane, or if I have to, ride in a wheelchair that day, you don't think anything's wrong with me at all. And most people will never see that part. Most days, just like we are now, I am secluded by myself. And when I have those problems, I'm alone. The only one that truly sees most of those problems are my family, my kids and my husband. And even my closer friends, like, we're not together enough that if I walk a great distance, they are able to see how quickly I decline while walking. Because I can walk longer if I walk slower. But it doesn't matter. Like, if I try to walk from my house up to my barn, or the end of my driveway to my mailbox, it's very quickly that you go from, hey, she doesn't look like there's anything wrong with her, to, oh my gosh, I didn't realize how fast that happens. And the other thing that this person said was that I have had trauma in my past, and I'm able to share that experience. It doesn't, at least for me, it didn't come very quickly for me to be able to share that experience. My recovery was 4 years long, and I know 4 years seems like a very long time, and people are like, after 4 years, you should be able to talk about it and be okay with whatever happened. But for 4 years, I never stopped having surgeries from this. Like, I never just got to have an end to my healing and my medical care. And it took me 4 years to be able to stand up in front of an audience and speak for the first time about everything that I had endured and gone through, and all the mental and emotional pain that went along with my physical pain. And for me now, you know, everyone who knows me I was a very shy and introverted person, you know, even as an adult. I was very introverted. So for me to be able to get up in front of an audience and now want to do that instead of feeling like that's just what I'm supposed to do, has been a great experience for myself. It's been a growing and kind of liberating experience to say, hey, Carey, you know, you can do this. I mean, I never thought I'd be able to do that before, and especially about something that has been so traumatic and emotional and just always has this huge imprint on my heart. So those are the two things that I took out of his comment, or her comment. Sorry, I have no idea who wrote it. But, and those are probably two things that some of you have kind of thought to yourself. She looks like she's fine, and she looks like she's been speaking forever. I've heard both of those. But it took a lot of growth for both. So I'm not sure during this quarantine time, maybe I'll do a couple a week and get through that. And I'll ask you guys whenever I run out of comments or questions, if there is anything that you have ever wanted to ask me about my recovery, how I farm with disabilities, anything with my surgeries, anything with my mental health that has happened, you know, having to try to work through this, just give me a PM, and I promise I won't say your name or anything, but I will go ahead and read those and answer some questions. And honestly, it's kind of interesting to me that there's certain things that I just don't get asked very often, and I just don't talk about as well. And I just did a podcast interview yesterday, and man, she asked me a question that I hadn't really had to deal with in a long time. And I didn't realize how emotional I was about that still after 9 years. And when you guys hear that podcast interview, like immediately you hear my throat close, and I could not hardly get the words out of that. So it's interesting to me as well how all of this still affects me even 9 years later. So that's it for today. I will get another one maybe in a couple days since we really have nothing else to do but, you know, stick around the house. So tell me what you think and let me know if you have any more questions. All right. See you guys.